Sådär. And we are live! Hello! And welcome back to the Adam Sandler podcast. We took a little break. A very well-needed break. I actually wanted to go on a longer break, but cooler heads prevailed. Which, of course, is my friend and co-host, Christopher. So, now we have to do it. Yes, so we're back, and we're going to talk about, I already said this when we talked about Jack and Jill, but we're going to talk about one of the most despicable movies I've ever seen. In this episode of the Adam Sandler podcast, we're talking about, That's My Boy. A movie I hadn't seen before, and, spoilers for the rest of the conversation, I wish I hadn't seen it.
Likewise.
It is truly in a league of its own. And to everyone watching live, we actually have a couple of people here. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, everyone watching this in the archives, thank you for watching. But yeah, we're going to talk about That's My Boy, a movie I had heard about before, once again from Red Letter Media and their review of it. And remember them thinking it was a truly terrible movie, and I was, it's probably bad, but not as bad as Jack and Jill and Grown Ups. But now having seen it, oh my god. But before we get into the actual conversation, let's just look at the trailer, so for people that might not remember it, can get acquainted with it. This is the green band trailer, because the red band was actually worse than this. So this is at least watchable. Anyway. 3, 2, 1, play.
Everybody. The fact that this has resulted in a pregnancy leaves me no choice but to levy the maximum penalty.
Take care of our baby, Donnie!
Dumbass.
So what the IRS say?
You haven't paid taxes since '94, Donnie.
I'm going to prison if I don't get 43 lives.
Holy cow, that's my boy.
He moved out when he turned 18. I haven't seen him since.
He's one of the youngest hedge fund managers in the financial industry.
Maybe your son can help you.
Todd, your old man is here?
Donnie, what are you doing here?
What type of guy would miss his son's wedding?
You were basically the worst parent ever.
I was awesome!
You let
All
me
right,
steak
that's
and
enough of
lollipops
that.
for breakfast every day.
I don't have any comments. That at least now you have seen the trailer, you know what it's about. Let's talk about why the movie wasn't good. So, let's start with you, Christopher. Before you saw it, had you heard about it before?
I had not heard about the movie. I didn't know nothing about the movie except I've seen the... well, when we started doing this Adam Sandler podcast, Netflix now recommends me only Adam Sandler movies. So I see the poster for a lot of them now.
Okay.
So I've seen the poster that's on Netflix, and I saw that Andy Samberg was in it, and I thought it was he's kind of okay, because this is around the time he did Hot Rod, right?
A few years after Hot Rod, but around the same time.
Yeah, and that movie is really funny.
Oh yeah, it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. So I was like, even maybe they can like balance each other out. That was my hope. So,
okay.
So I didn't have big hopes, but I had some hopes for this movie. I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that.
Nope. So now, having seen the movie, what is your opinion? What do you think of the movie?
Yeah, this is a horrible movie, and the biggest problem isn't the usual stuff like the bad jokes and the violence and the bad writing, lazy acting, none of those things. The worst part is just the story and the basic framework of the movie.
Yeah, the premise of the movie is the problem.
Yeah, the premise of the movie is horrible, because if you remove that premise, which you kind of easily could have done, and still had the same story, you could just have an estranged father. You don't have the other stuff. Then it would have been an okay Adam Sandler movie. But yeah, it starts off and you get a bad taste in your mouth, which continues throughout the entire movie, and you can't gain any enjoyment. This is the first one that I didn't have one simple laugh for any reason throughout this movie.
No.
There was, because I was mad watching this movie, starting from like the 5-minute mark into the movie. I was just mad at it, and I couldn't find any enjoyment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, and I completely agree. This is some of the worst trash I've ever seen, and not only because I'm clutching pearls here over the taboo stuff that the movie starts out with, but just all that other stuff, all the other bad stuff with Adam Sandler movies is still there. This one just makes it worse by having this romanticized idea of pedophilia in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it doesn't really gets through in the trailer, I think, how horrible this is. But this is for the viewers, so they know. This is a movie about a 12 or 13-year-old boy who gets sexually abused several times, repeatedly, by his teacher.
Yeah.
And the entire movie frames this as a good thing, that the teacher is a cool person and the kid is lucky because she's a hot teacher, and what boy wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
It really puts like this. Yeah, it's extremely toxic too. This is specifically what toxic masculinity is about. It's this. It's horrible, and it really puts it really reinforces the thing that a boy or a man can't be sexually abused or raped.
Yeah,
it can't happen. It really, and it says, and it should be applauded when that happened. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but people have that. Not people. Some people have that frame of reference.
Mindset.
Mindset.
And that is
cool.
Toxic masculinity. To have that mindset is a toxic masculinity trait. That's part of. That's one of the part of masculinity that is toxic. Yeah,
because it doesn't matter which gender is the one doing like the sexual abusing. It's still sexual abuse, and the way they portrayed in the movie, nothing like really bad happens other than them having a child and him having to raise it as a teenager.
Yeah, which is also fucking weird.
Yeah, that he gets custody. Well, I guess when he's 18, he can get custody, I suppose. But
they give the child. They don't really go into the things of it, but so Adam Sandler's character, Donnie.
Yeah.
When he's 12 or 13, I don't remember. Then his father in the movie is abusive towards him.
All right.
And yeah, and that's a joke apparently. That's what we saw in the trailer with the idiot when the fist punched him in the courtroom. And so when the teacher, gets pregnant and gets put into jail, the father of Donnie gets custody until Donnie is 18. He gets custody.
Yeah.
And this, first of all, in what world does the victim has to take care of the child? First of all. Second of all, doesn't Donnie's father need to approve of this? And he does not sound like a person who would want another child.
No. Yeah.
And also, in what world do you get custody when you're 18? Again, when you're a victim. it just doesn't make sense at all. It's a stretch.
No, but yeah, but they're glossing over that because in their eyes he's not a victim. I mean, the only thing that acknowledges the fact that what goes on in the beginning of the movie is wrong is the fact that the teacher actually gets a 30-year prison sentence. Like, that should be an alarm clock. That should have been an alarm clock for the writers when they're writing. But yeah, we wrote a very like abusive premise here. Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's just straight up. It's like the first time they're about to have sex. First of all, the scene is straight up an intro scene in a porno.
Yeah.
Just that then the actors are older. I could barely watch the scene.
Yeah. So as I said before we started streaming, I was convinced for several minutes that it was a dream sequence.
Yeah.
That he this dream sequence. He's gonna wake up any minute because he's in detention and he's gonna wake up and it was all dream. Yeah, because it was so filmed and written so weirdly.
Yeah.
It was so blatant and it really felt like a dream sequence in a movie.
Yeah.
When you say, "Oh, this cut," it's like when you're watching a movie and like a person when someone does a switcheroo and I was the bad guy all along and then they wake up, oh, it wasn't that. It was exactly like that. It was not comically, but it was too blatant.
Yeah.
Too unclever written.
Yeah, and the fact that he's even hesitant at first makes it even worse. So it's just I'm not squeamish at all, but that was somehow we know why, but that was like one of the most disgusting scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And the fact that they could put that in a comedy and trying to make it as a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like a joke. Ugh.
And this is like how we start the movie. How long is that? It can't be more than 5 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it's like first 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. And from there on, the movie is ruined because of this.
Yeah. Like any semblance of enjoyment is gone because there are some scenes later in the movie that are kind of entertaining, but I couldn't enjoy it.
No, exactly.
It was impossible because it starts out with one of the worst crimes you can commit against another human being, and the fact that was brushed over, even back then. I mean, it's 8 years old.
Yeah, it's not that old.
It's not that old. Like, I mean, this pedophilia has never been accepted, I guess, unless you're counting like back at Roman Empire times. But that doesn't matter. Like, you can't write a movie about this. At least not. So, of course, you can write a movie about it, but you shouldn't make that like the butt of a joke or make it like a good thing in the movie, which they kind of do. They sort of address it a couple of times, but it's nowhere near enough to justify it.
Yeah, it's the thing that they keep telling us that it is bad. That it was a bad thing that happened. Yeah. But it doesn't reflect it. They just say it.
Yeah.
There's no but the scene afterwards, someone is high-fiving him because he was so cool who had sex with his teacher. It's and then they say, well, but it is bad though. But here's the jokes about it. It's they're trying to I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to they mention it just to say, but we did mention it was bad. That's the only reason they mention it.
Yeah. I don't really have any like I complaining about other stuff in the movie feels so trivial after that. So like there are no good jokes in the movie, like always. There's nothing really to laugh about. The plot is, once again, he's a man-child who has to grow up and take responsibility. Literally in this movie.
Yeah, just again, all criticism is trivial at this point, but a few things that I noticed was kind of weird. So first of all, this movie is 30 years after the incident, and so Donnie, he raised this child, and he raised the child extremely poorly because he's coming from a broken home and is abused, and he's a teenager, tries to raise someone. Of course it's gonna be bad. So when the child is 18, the child moves out as soon as he can to get away from this horrible childhood he has. Obviously. And so they haven't met each other for several years. So then I completely lost my train of thought. So and then Donnie. So this several years later, he's now he was like a star for some reason.
Yeah, he was a celebrity.
Because he had sex with his teacher. So now he's a star, and everyone's applauding him. This is a great guy, sort of.
Yeah, but that's because like it's
in this world. Apparently, this is a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a thing, not for everyone, but it is a common thing that like teenage boys have crushes on their teachers, and it is kind of a fantasy for some people, and I can see that aspect. The problem is that they actually went ahead and did it in the movie.
Anyway, so he's like poor. He has all these debts, and he has to reconnect his son, who is rich now, to get money from him. That's like the point of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's so weird because Donnie it's established that he's this broke guy who is a slob. He doesn't know how to live, and he's like just a man-child in every way possible.
Yeah.
But every person he meets in the movie loves him. Every person he meets through the entire movie thinks he's a cool guy, gives him stuff all of the time. How is he so poor if everyone in the world likes him?
Because they needed a reason for him to reconnect with his son. That's why. It's a terrible plot hole.
Because it would have worked well if we remove the beginning of the movie and the premise, but it would have worked if nobody likes him. But they put this thing in, like he's there to get money, and he in some way convinces the bride or the bride's parents or something that he needs to be at the wedding because he's the father. And there's a traditional thing, so nobody wants him there, but they need him there because of some tradition thing. That could have worked, and it could have been kind of fun to see him change and grow as a person, to realize that he did bad. But no, he doesn't learn anything. Everybody loves him, and Andy Samberg is the bad guy for some reason.
The dynamic between them two is it's weird, but in a way that's the best part of the movie. They have good chemistry, and their scenes together work pretty okay. But it's still I don't know. I don't know where it's going with that. Like, none of it makes sense. Like, if he has coasted his entire life, how come it just stops working right now when the movie takes place? And like, but he owes back taxes. But he hasn't paid his taxes since I think they mentioned like the 90s. They probably should have told him earlier than 2012.
And I mean, even if it is like that, he obviously, as soon as he says hello to a person, they instantly love him.
Exactly.
Why don't he just talk to people and borrow money from people? Why do he has to find his estranged son to get money from?
They needed to. I guess the way he has lived his life is a repercussion of what happened to him as a child, but it's not severe enough. He should be like worse off.
he should be the, for this movie to work. It wouldn't be a comedy, wouldn't have been a good movie.
No.
But
I think I know.
if the character he is in Punch Drunk Love,
Yeah, exactly.
then they told a serious story about this topic. Then it could have worked.
Yeah, and he has to come to terms with what actually happened to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's like he's living in denial, which, in a way, is like unsolved childhood trauma has put him where he is. That's why he's living in the past. So there are the ingredients to write an interesting movie about this is there. They just turn it into a comedy instead.
Yeah, an Adam Sandler comedy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's and because of all that, it is an infuriating movie.
Yeah.
And even beyond that, the whole like middle chunk of the movie is just them doing crazy things, and they kind of the whole thing where he has to reconnect with his son. It feels like the second he meets his son, they kind of forget about the whole borrowing money aspect. Like and that was something I kind of enjoyed. Like, oh, he just wants to hang out with his son and actually reconnect, and they actually seem to be doing that during these scenes, even though it's just a bunch of like random scenes. But then that comes back towards the end because, all right, we have to have the second act low point for the third act. It's like, it came back. The whole narrative just doesn't work. It can't function in a satisfactory way if they have to put in all those things that they start out with. It is just impossible to make a good movie out of this.
Yeah, it is the issue we had with I don't remember which movie that was. Was it the last movie we did? Just Go With It. Yeah, I think just go with it. We didn't have that much to say because it was so meh.
Yeah.
This movie is I never been in this situation before. A movie is so bad that I don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah, it's baffling. It's flabbergasting.
Yeah, you can't. It's so hard to even just nitpick things because everything is so bad.
Yeah.
There's like,
and it just, what amazes me the most is that this wasn't a more controversial movie back then.
And people, after I saw it, I read a lot of reviews and comments on this movie. People seem to say this is an okay Adam Sandler movie. Almost nobody brings up the big issues with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't see it as a problem because the child is a boy, and the grown up is a woman. Then it's not seen as
even critics who know these things
yeah, it's, I don't know.
It's infuriating.
Yeah. I'm reading some blurbs here from the reviews, and yeah.
No.
I found, well, I was one here. I thought the movie is so disgusting. I read, but if it starts with I did laugh. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I don't. What is here? The film is such a barren comic wasteland of scatology and misogyny that Vanilla Ice steals the film with a good-natured, self-deprecating portrayal of himself as Sandra's sleazy party buddy. That's true. Vanilla Ice is pretty good in the movie.
Vanilla Ice is pretty good in the movie. Yeah, that's true.
For some reason.
Unfortunately, he's in this movie, so.
Yeah, exactly. But that's and the misogyny and the scatology, like, there's not that many poop jokes, are there? Anyway.
Oh yeah,
that's not the problem.
But there's this sort of plot point that he has this.
The extra pair of underwear.
Yeah, that's the thing, I think. But yeah, that's not the
problem. Yeah, I don't care about poop jokes. They're funny. I care about the pedophilia. That's not funny.
Yeah.
Why isn't this discussed more?
I don't know. Everybody's taking this movie as a serious movie. Like, yeah, it has some bad jokes. Come on.
Yeah, the bad jokes are not the problem either. That's the whole thing. The fact that the pedophilia aspect is so accepted.
Yeah.
Is I can't wrap my head around. Or I can't, like I said, I can from another person's perspective or other people's perspective that they don't think it's that bad because you can't rape a guy.
Yeah.
But you can, and they did in this movie.
I mean,
I'm just
looking over some of the comments, the user comments on IMDb.
Yeah.
Of course, those are not a beacon of hope in movie criticism, but I mean, here's this guy. He says, "This is the funniest movie Sandler's done in a long time. I get that people were PO'd about Jack and Jill, and I'm no fanboy of Adam Sandler. It was incredibly bad. The ratings and review of this movie seems to be lingering hate from that." No.
No, that's not it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was hilarious. By far the funniest Adam Sandler movie. Even without the sexual abuse stuff, it's not the funniest Adam Sandler movie.
No, it's okay at most if you remove the pedophilia things.
Sandler's made a couple of stinkers lately, but this one rocked! Why did it rock? Because Sandler went back to his simple, old formula. Giant man-child refuses to grow up. That's every Adam Sandler movie, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. A loathsome, painfully unfunny affront to comedy. Let's read this one. Let's see. Oh, that was it. Okay.
Okay. Well, maybe we should read IMDb reviews through this stream, but yeah,
well, okay. Here was at least someone that mentioned it. Thank you.
Okay.
Chris Pandolfi back in 2012. 1 out of 10. How do we make statutory rape funny? Exactly.
Yeah.
How do we do that? I don't think you wrote anything else. Nope, that was just it. Okay. Yeah, but that's what every reviewer should have said. How is statutory rape funny? Anyway.
I mean, who wrote this movie? Who made this? Oh right. Oh yeah, I looked up this thing. This guy. No, it was the director. I think. Yeah, the director who hasn't done like anything except this one.
Sean Anders. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done like some. I mean, few things that nobody really cares about. He's like Horrible Bosses 2.
Yeah, he's written a bunch of movies. Some okay movies.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Daddy's Home movies. Just gonna say that.
I haven't even seen them.
Okay. They're what is he called? Will Ferrell movies.
The writer has only done this and written TV shows.
Yeah.
The shows I never heard of.
Oh, he did direct the Daddy's Home movies too. Damn it.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of good, interesting people in this movie.
Yeah.
Like good actors and names you recognize.
Yeah, you have
like
once again they have the Academy Award-winning cameo. This time James Caan, which was a very, very strange scene when they start fighting the priest, or I guess the priest starts a fight for no real reason. Or not a good enough reason, I suppose.
And then we have Susan Sarandon.
Yeah. And I want to say she was great, but she played a statutory rapist, so that scene was... The one scene she's in was super weird.
Yeah.
Because, once again, you could see the effect that what happened back in the 80s had on Adam Sandler's character, because he, like, instantly was back in that moment. Like, yeah, he hasn't progressed. Because you raped him, dude. Yeah, so that was weird. But anyway, yeah, Susan Sarandon, she's good, though. And
then Alan Thicke is in the movie.
Alan Thicke. I know that name, but I gotta be honest, I don't know who he is. But I know the name.
You will know him when you see his face. he's in a lot of things, well, not a lot of things, but he has been in.
Yeah, I know he's like
He's one of those
recognizable-
people who's just in stuff. I don't know what he's famous for from the beginning. He's just in things all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Alan Thicke. Yeah, I know him from like How I Met Your Mother. I remember they
Yeah,
mentioned like,
yeah, he's in
oh
there.
my God, Alan Thicke. I was like, who?
Yeah. Andy Samberg, obviously.
And the Sandberg, yeah, who
Yeah.
he was the closest. Nah, he wasn't even that funny in this because the material he had to work with wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a part. It wasn't a good part for him to play. I'd say
No.
he's not. He's not that good at playing like, well, the straight man, on the underside of Adam Sandler. I'd say.
Yeah, no, that didn't really work. Then we had Will Forte, who I think is very funny
Will Forte.
in a weird role as some sort of like Christian work associate. Yeah, it was.
Guy. Oh.
Yeah, weird. It was fun to see him. He was. I want to say he was funny, but he wasn't that funny. He's usually funny, but he wasn't really funny here. Once again, because of the material. Same thing with Nick Swardson, who I somehow, while watching these movies, has become more like, I don't know, I'm interested in as a comedian. I didn't used to like him, and it's like he's pretty fun in these movies. They're terrible movies, but he's pretty funny sometimes. But this one, yeah, I was struggling. Like, is he funny here?
Oh right, he was that guy. I completely
that guy.
forgot about that guy.
Weird character, but I
No, that was again. It was just let's put on a funny voice, and that's the joke. There was no.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's one scene towards the end of the movie where he's like the voice of reason.
Oh yeah.
Which
For some reason.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that should have been his role throughout the movie. Like he's a weirdo pervert, but he's the voice of reason. That should have been the thing, but it was just that one scene. And then I liked Milo Ventimiglia. He doesn't do enough stuff. I like him as an actor.
Who?
What's his name in the movie? Chad? Chad, the brother to the bride, the girlfriend.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another thing they have in this movie. Incest!
Oh, right, yeah. Because that's fun, apparently, also. Again, what? Because...
Yeah, that was also just icky. Gross.
Yeah. At least they condemn that in the movie.
Yeah, like, statutory rape is fine, because, hey, she was hot. But incest, no. But they have the same excuse.
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah, but if we're gonna go by the movie's logic, they're both hot, so then it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? What's the difference? That scene was also, like, I knew about that, but I thought, they're not gonna go too far. But then there was the scene where they're literally having sex. The brother and sister. I was like, this movie traumatized me. It's just...
Yeah.
But he was still he was still pretty good in that role. And they also I gotta say they kind of doubled down on his character. He's incestuous with his sister, and he what's it called stolen valor. He faked being a soldier. And it's just like
Wait, does he fake being a soldier?
Yeah. He's I think they mentioned that he's not actually a soldier. He's going to like a dance academy.
I totally missed that.
Okay. I think because I made a mental note of it that stolen valor, because that's a thing. Because his father didn't approve of him going to dance school or dance university or whatever. Because that's the thing, he wants to dance. There's a scene on the beach where he dances towards the end before the wedding.
All right. Yeah, I didn't even at that point. I was just mostly just shaking my head, didn't really take in any information.
Yeah, it pales in comparison, of course, but it was just another thing. Like, these are the real bad guys. Look at what they're doing.
While we're talking about actors, let's go down the list.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let me bring up spreadsheets. There. That's good. Right. So we do actually have a few regulars back.
Yeah.
I know
So
Alan
as
Covert
stated-
is not in it, right?
Not that I saw, at least.
No, not David Spade either.
No.
No.
But as mentioned, Nick Swardson. So-
All right, we could. Yeah, we'll start with that. Nick Swardson. Let me just do this. Nick Swardson. Blake
Yeah,
Clark
Blake Clark.
plays. Is it the wife? Or the wife to be, the fiance's dad, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Throughout the movie, I thought the mustache guy, the boss,
Yeah,
was
the one
the
there.
father.
Yeah, because he's the father figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Andy Samberg. And then Jonathan Lauren was not in it, right?
Not that I saw.
But I know Peter Dante was in it somewhere.
Yes. Peter Dante was in it.
Yeah. But I think that's it,
He
right?
he played. What was it? He was like a guy just yelling something in the background at some point.
Yeah, it was like a
to
cameo,
Vanilla
basically.
Ice, I think. Vanilla Ice was in the scene, and he yelled something. They were talking, and then he yelled something.
Oh, isn't he? Wait, it says Dante Spirou. Is he like that's the son of the boss, right? Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, he's in the
When they're at
wedding
the-
scene
the
with the weird
party.
hat.
Oh, right, in the end.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Oh, that ending.
And I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah, for the regulars.
I'm
so, 3 of
happy
them.
Alan Covert wasn't in this movie.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if he had like a producing role or something. But there are no others like that we don't that I don't have on the list, right? There's none other. Oh, no, I was gonna say Rob Schneider, but he's not in it.
Nope.
Colin Quinn is back from Grown Ups. He plays a strip club DJ. It says.
Oh right.
So that's also like
Yeah.
one scene, and of course Rachel Dratch plays Will Forte's wife, and
Yeah.
but she doesn't have anything to do in the movie. They have
No.
great comedian, nothing to do. All right,
Great.
But yeah, but that's it. Oh, Dennis Dugan is in the movie, the director of Happy Gilmore and Grown Ups, and I think Jack and Jill and some other movie.
All right.
Plays the school janitor, whoever that is. Anyway,
I did read a kind of an adjacent thing, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
Sort of, I guess. So there's a movie I haven't seen. I don't know, you've seen it, called Grandma's Boy.
I know of it, but I haven't seen it. Oh yeah,
Which is all the regulars in that movie. All the regulars except Adam Sandler.
Yeah, he just produced it.
Yeah, but apparently the Dante's character and the priest character,
Yeah.
not Khan, the other priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the same. Both actors play the same characters in Grandma's Boy. As in this one.
Yeah. I think it like technically takes place in the same universe.
Yeah.
It's a shared universe thing.
Yeah.
I've heard that Grandma's Boy is absolutely terrible as well.
Oh yeah. It looks like it.
I would like to see that though.
Yeah, I mean, if again, it's what we talked about like early in this. Can Covert handle a leading role?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I want to see, and also because it's basically the same creative team, as the people that made the movie Strange Wilderness, which I am a fan of that one. That is a strange movie, but I kind of like it.
the only reason I know we talked about this earlier in the podcast. I only like it because it's one of those movies that you really see that everyone is enjoying and having a good time throughout the movie. But I do stand by that you can just watch the trailer because that has all the good bits in it.
That's true. That's true.
Watch the trailer instead of the movie, and you get all the good bits.
Yeah. But if that's a big if, we continue with this podcast after Uncut Gems, that is a Happy Madison movie. So we're gonna have to talk about it then if we do that.
Yeah.
Big if, big if. But anyway, should we? I mean, there's not much more to say about the movie. Oh, one thing that actually people in the chat mentioned, that it usually is a big problem in the movies, but now it's just everything pales in comparison to the big problem with this movie. Adam Sandler does the annoying voice throughout the entire movie.
Oh right, he does. Yeah.
It is just it's that voice. Why? Like it doesn't sound like people don't talk like that.
I mean, he at some point he must have got an idea that people think is funny.
Yeah,
because he's been doing it repeatedly in several movies.
Yeah, and it's
funny.
It can be funny for like one scene, like a 5-minute scene, like. But as a person's regular speaking voice, no, you can't take that character serious because of it. Yeah. Why not just try to make, I don't know, like a regular gravelly voice? Why make it the weird leprechaun voice? It just, But like I said, it doesn't matter because it's the least of the movie's problems.
Yeah, it didn't even register as a big problem.
No. Anyway, should we move on to rating the movie? Cause
sure.
I'm done talking about it. Really.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think I know what we're both gonna give it, but just as a courtesy, I'll bring it up. So, Christopher, what would you rate That's My Boy?
I'm gonna give this one a 1.
A 1? Oh my God, you're being very generous today.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, and my motivation for that 1% of a point that it gets is, well, at least they did cut the movie and the music was kind of okay most of the time.
Yeah. And you mentioned that before, and like I mentioned before, because you're saying the still Overboard is worse.
Yeah, because what I said was that that this movie is at least a really, really bad or non-functional shelf, while Going Overboard is the box the shelf came in. Yeah. But as you said, well, the shelf has pedophilia, the box doesn't. So exactly. I mean,
so that's the thing. Yeah, it's technically a movie more than Going Overboard is. But at least Going Overboard doesn't have any pedophilia.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I see your point.
And I see your point.
Yeah, exactly. Too. If we're gonna be totally unbiased and just judge it on its like technical merits, sure, it is a 1. But I'm not gonna give it a 1. I'm giving it a 0. Yeah. Because it was the worst thing I have ever seen. Like I said, I've seen worse movies, but the central premise of the movie makes it I wrote a 0. That's it. Makes it the worst thing I've ever seen. So that's that's My Boy.
Yeah.
I can't believe it actually exists. And that it hasn't been like discussed more.
Yeah.
Like now, like looking back at it, I'm
especially with the all the cancel culture and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm not a fan of cancel culture, but he was just nominated for an Oscar. That's a perfect like time for people who like hate him to like, oh, but what about this? What about this? But nobody did that. And while
nobody ever mentioned this.
Yeah, and while I'm glad they didn't, because I don't like cancel culture, it's weird that no one did it though. Because if you're gonna critique him for anything, this is it.
Yeah, this
is really it.
This is a career ruiner. This can ruin a career.
Yeah, but it didn't. And I wonder.
It didn't at all.
Yeah.
It didn't affect his career at all.
And I wonder, like we've talked about before, like he must be super lovable and super nice.
Yeah.
Cause this should be irredeemable, but for some reason it isn't.
Yeah. And this is what people usually say this about bad stuff, and I don't really like that argument because it's kind of a lazy argument. Well, not argument, but yeah. But it fits really in this movie. And that's, how did nobody spot this before?
Yeah.
Why did nobody say anything? How did this get through so many people and everyone's like, yeah, this sounds fine?
I don't know.
Did people read the script?
Maybe. Did
Khan read the script? Did Sarandon read the script?
I don't know. I don't know. Boomers don't take statutory rape seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
something. Yeah, and I can maybe like the argument is that, well, it's just a stupid Adam Sandler comedy. It won't affect anything, but that doesn't justify it.
No.
People could use that argument, but I don't think that justifies it.
Like, not at all.
Then at the same time, I'm not gonna. Other than this podcast, I'm not gonna call the movie out or something like.
No. But I'm gonna talk about it to people. I need people to know that this movie exists.
Yeah.
People need to know that. I'm not gonna write a blog.
No.
I'm not.
Like say this needs to be blah blah blah.
No,
nothing like that.
But I'm gonna talk with friends about this movie. Do you know of this movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
And stay away. Stay far away.
Stay far away from this movie. Oh my god. Yeah. Maybe use it as a like measuring stick, like. Yeah. Oh, I really like That's My Boy. And it's like, okay, thanks, bye.
Bye. I'm leaving now.
You do you. Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at that because I'm done talking about it. The only positive with this is that now I don't think next week's movie is gonna be that horrible in comparison.
Yeah. So let's go over the list.
Yes.
So 2011. 2011. He made 2 movies, Jack and Jill, and Just Go With It.
Yeah.
2012. He only made 1 movie, and that was this one. That's My Boy.
Yeah.
And 2013. He also only made 1 movie. That's Grown Ups 2.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's the next one we're doing.
Yeah.
And after that...
there's 2014, he actually made 3 movies.
3 movies?
Yeah. He made The Cobbler, Blended, and Men, Women, and Children.
Oh! Well, then I gotta fix the leaderboard here, because I put... after That's My Boy, I can just put it up on screen again. I put that Grown Ups 2, and then The Cobbler, but then I jumped directly to Pixels for some reason.
What? There's 4 movies in between.
Yeah, I know.
There's Blended, Men, Women, and Children, Ridiculous 6, and then Pixels.
I don't know. Or maybe I don't know.
It's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. But
maybe he won't notice. I'm just gonna remove.
We'll just skip a few. Why did I do this? Yeah. No, I'll fix the leaderboard. But anyway.
Yeah. So yeah. Grown Ups 2 next week. Looking forward to it now.
Kind of. Yeah.
Sort of. Again, also I said that before stream. It was really nice having a week without Adam Sandler in my life.
Yes.
It was very blissful.
Especially after this one.
Yeah. So let's. So I'm rejuvenated to go back in.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am still looking forward to watching The Cobbler because the trailer at first makes it out to be like a more interesting movie, like something more kind of more serious. But I've heard it's like as bad, if not worse, than some of his worst movies.
It has a lower rating than That's My Boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Okay.
But that's for the coming week. So Grown Ups 2 next week, and then The Cobbler.
Yeah.
So yeah, to everyone watching in the stream, watching us live, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for commenting. And to everyone watching in the archives, don't forget you can watch this Tuesdays 8 p.m. live on Twitch. The link is in the description. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week when we talk about Grown Ups 2. But until then, have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.